So I'm back at the garage again today and bought myself a tiny little battery which fits in there. So basically it's a bit dark in here, but I've got to get rid of this wire which joins all the way to over here, and it's connected with or joined to the body with a P-clamp somewhere underneath here. So this one's going to go completely, and this earth wire I've got to undo it from there and clamp it into somewhere on this side, and this live wire which I've got down here I'll be putting on a new battery terminal on there, and so the battery will now sit in there, and with this side I can put the little plastic bin on there, back in there rather. Hopefully then that's the job done. Right, so that's all set in and looking nice. Screwed the earth cable there, brought the wire through there and added on my clamp, so that fits quite nice. So in fact, if anything, I may have to make up some sort of a clamp to hold it in place, but saying that, it's quite solid. So the next job I want to tackle is to try and change this thing here, but it's really awkward to get to. It's located about there underneath here. It's really fiddly, lots of bits and pieces in the way. I can see a couple of knurled nuts which seem to be holding the dial in position. So I'm going to try and position my hand in there and see if I can pull it forward. Right, manage to get those bits off from behind. See if I can pull it through. What's holding it back is this copper cable. I'm not sure which one that's for. That might be for the temperature. It's like a heavyweight piece of copper, but I think even from this point I'll be able to undo everything and pull it right out. With the right size spanner, of course. Okay, that's that one off. Lights on. Now it's a matter of pulling this temperature sensor or oil switch or whatever it is through from inside the body underneath the engine bank now. There's another little P-clamp that's holding the wire in, that's why I'm having trouble. And it's so tight under there, I don't know how I'm going to get to it. So now time to feed this one back in, and hopefully it'll be easier than taking the old one out. The whole reason why I'm changing this old dial, which is probably like nothing wrong with it, is because this bit got detached, and apparently you can't just buy that bit because it's all soldered in and whatnot, so I'm having to change for like nearly 100 quid's worth for the sake of that. Change the whole lot. Getting this rerouted back through that maze underneath there and up through the hole in the body is going to be a bit of a nightmare. Right, managed to get this all in. I've pulled the oil pressure pipe through. That's just got to connect into that bit there, and the light. It's going to be really tight. You always find a way of doing these things. Plug in the light first because it's the longer cable, and let's see if I can just get this tube for the oil pressure on. Where there's not much flex in the tube, the oil tube, it's kind of got to position the clock in the right angle to get it onto the thread. So it's just taking out, and that's the bit which has become detached from like the rest of this. I suppose really what I should have done before taking this out is decide on the route I want to take for this cable, which I think will go down the side there and come straight across in there. That's it, I'll just tie that up and make that look nice, and that's 2 jobs done so far today. I'm quite pleased with that. My next job is to tune up these carbs. This just came in today, colour tune. It's the one where you take out a spark plug and replace it with this spark plug, which has got a glass viewing thingy on it, and you adjust the carburetors and until you're looking down into the piston basically, and when you're seeing it burn blue, then you know you've got a good mixture. Oh, I haven't got time to do that today, so I'll probably end up doing that tomorrow. I think for today that's about it. There's one other thing, the outrigger arrived as well with another little bit, and the jacking point, which I'm hoping to do tomorrow night, which I'll be able to use the ramp tomorrow when my brother's shut. So I'll stick the car on the ramp, grind the old ones off and weld these ones in and underseal it, and then that's the underneath done. And then like the bit which I'm most excited about is getting the carpet fitted. They're the sort of things that delight me more than anything mechanical. I don't like getting my hands dirty, and I'm not a good mechanic either, I don't think. I'm back at home, and before I left the garage I took off the glove box door. As you might recall, there's a bit of walnut trim missing off the dashboard. So what I've done is I've ordered this, which is a really lovely piece of veneer, and I'm going to attempt to get that to go on there. It might not look 100% like what's on there, because what's on the car isn't real walnut anyway. It's probably just made to look like walnut, whereas this is real walnut. So the task here is to get this onto the glove box and get it lacquered and make it look like it's part of the other stuff that's on there. Now, to begin with, how this stuff arrives is sort of quite wavy, and I'll sort of check this. I've done this once before on a clock. You've got to spray it with water, soak it, and then sandwich it between a couple of boards and leave it overnight to dry, and then it should come back as flat as a sheet of glass. And there it is, sandwiched between two pieces of wood and some sheets of white tissue, and I'm going to leave that overnight, and hopefully tomorrow when I come to it, it'll be ready to work with. I've just taken out the walnut veneer from my little press, and it's as flat as it's going to be for now. So what I've done, I've also brought home the glove box. I've given that like a respray with satin black, and I've made this way round a template for the veneer. So the plan is that I'm going to cut around this template and glue the veneer onto this piece of cardboard to give it a little bit of extra rigidity, and then hopefully coat it with some sort of lacquer, or I'm actually thinking of maybe doing it with resin. If that works out, that'll give me the finish that I want, a nice deep shine. I've just given the bit of cardboard and the veneer a coat of Evo stick, and give that a few minutes to go off. Then I'm going to sandwich that onto there and roll it, press it, whatever I'm going to do to sort of make sure it's nice and flat. And then, as I say, hopefully I will have a sort of a laminated and firm piece of veneer which will need the coating. So here's the cardboard now with the veneer stuck firmly to it and keyhole cut out. So as I say, that's a lot more rigid now, and that will go on there, roughly whatever position there, and get glued on. But as I say, before I do that, I want to coat this with I've got some resin at home, so I think I'm going to have a go at pouring a thin coat of resin over that, which a thin coat of resin is still going to be like a couple of millimetres anyway, minimum a millimetre, which is quite thick when you're adding gloss to a surface like this. Never done this before, so this is all new to me, and I'm just sussing it out as I go along really. Hopefully it'll come out well. Here's where I've reached so far. I've poured on the this is the stuff I'm using, glass cast. I mixed it up and poured it on. It's a little bit wavy, and the reason behind that is the veneer started to sort of curl up a bit when I poured it on there, but I'm hoping there's going to be a little bit of flexibility, that's the word I'm looking for, when it comes to me putting this on. But when you're looking at it sort of face down, it looks amazing. and I'll give it a little polish up once this has gone off, if it hasn't all cracked up by tomorrow. But this is how I'll leave it for now.